And indeed, whenever you listen to it during the evening hours, it is about time we converge around the radio to talk about the issues that matter, discussing all of the important issues and giving you Liberians the opportunity so that your voices can be heard on critical national issues. Good evening and welcome to the program Issues of Today here tonight on Voice of Liberia. And it's always good to be back on the program Issues of Today, right here on the People's Radio Station, Voice of Liberia. What is a great way to say, look at this, Tokyo. It is a good way to say um, good evening to you in Liberia. Good afternoon to you there in the United States, other parts of the world, uh, whatsoever in terms of time it may be, you've joined us. I want to use this time to say welcome to the program Issues of Today here on Voice of Liberia 104.1. We also live on our online television, Voice of Liberia TV. We also live on our YouTube channel, that's Voice of Liberia as well. We also live on our online radio on www.voiceofliberiaonline.com. We've come back to do the people's job. We've come to talk about the issues that matter. We've come to speak about the interest of the citizenry of this country. We've come to speak against the ills in society. This is what we love to do best, and we'll continue to do this in the interest of our country, Liberia. So nothing will stop us. We'll continue to do it. We think it is important to do. So on later on, my colleagues will join me tonight again. Obed and that of Fidel will join me later on as we continue our advocacy for the rights of Liberians, for the rights of business people in our country, for the rights of drivers in our country that have been purchasing bad products from Aminata and Son. We'll also talk about Aminata Bangura from CTN. We'll continue to talk about it And there are a lot of things coming up. I can say safely to you, Liberians, it will interest you to know there are shocking news. We will tell you about it, and so you will be informed. But part of our housekeeping tonight, we want to the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency President George Weah, uh, on his official page, he person of the party because according to them, their constitution requires someone to just go two term, not three. And also, there has been new, chairman of the party, and so James Barney has been, frowning on that issue as well. Someone is saying no sound. Let's look at it, please. So that has been issue as well. But today there was a meeting held. I will give you update about it. But let me go to this. I think some of you need to look at your devices you're using to listen. But I think it is the good audio is coming from the television. So on today, the executive mentioned 3 hours ago, they said President Weah describes Kimpele death a multimillennial loss to world soccer. It says the president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency George Manawiya, has expressed profound sadness at the news of the passing of soccer legend Anso Arantes do Nascimento, popularly known as King Pele. The Brazilian sportsman rose to the pencil of the game during the prime of his youth in the 50s, helping Brazil win three World Cups. In the last few years, Pele had been battling ill health, having survived cancer. The soccer legend died at the age of 82 in Sao Paulo at the Albert Einstein Israelite Hospital. Hundreds of fans descended on the hospital complex to express their grief as leaders around the world also convey their condolences. President Weah has recalled how he was inspired by the exploits of the Brazilian star when he first set out to play professional football. Pele gave me some remarkable words of motivation when we first met in Monaco. The Liberian leader said, as sport icon himself, President Weah said the advice from Pele propelled him to eventually becoming the world best player in 1995. The president described the death of Kimpele as a loss to the world of football. He said, for many years, the king of soccer encouraged and guided young athletes across the world to greatness. He conveyed his deepest sympathies to the government and people of Brazil, as well as the family of the bereaved. Long live the spirit of the king of soccer. He was my mentor, friend, and a big brother. Rap Kimpele, President Weah said. And this was what the executive mansion um, posted. Then 1 hour ago, the president himself posted on his page. It says, "The death of soccer legend Kim Pele has brought me immense sadness. During the prime of his youth, the Brazilian sports icon rose to the top of the game as he helped his country win 3 World Cups. The legend died at the age 82 after battling ill health for the last few years since surviving cancer. Like us, his admirers, thousands of his compatriots have expressed their grief. My life as a professional footballer was inspired by the exploits of the king. He gave me some remarkable words of motivation when I first met him in Monaco that propelled me to eventually becoming the world best player in 1995. Kim Pellet's death is lost to the world of football for many years. He encouraged and guided young blah 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 blah. He said, I wish to express my deepest sympathy to the government and people of Brazil as well as the family of the bereaved. Long live the spirit of Kim Pele, of King of Soccer. He was my mentor, friend, and a big brother, Rap Kim Pele. Wow. So that is it. Um, the entire world, Kim Pele did he what he could do, and uh, and so he's dead and gone. And we wish him all the best. We don't know, no one know where it is. That is it. And on today, the president, according to this release, met with other folks. It says CDC's tender bearer, His Excellency Dr. George Managuia holds fruitful and rewarding meeting with leaders of the NPP. Let me just read you this. It said the standard bearer of the Coalition for Democratic Change, His Excellency Dr. George Managuia, has called on members of the National Patriotic Party to set aside their differences and unite around the strategic collective goals of the coalition. The CDC standard bearer, who is also chairman of the governing council of the Coalition for Democratic Change, made this assertion today, Friday, December 30th, 2022, during a meeting with members and officials of the National Patriotic Party in Tinkers Village. The meeting, which also attended by the Vice Standard Bearer, Her Excellency Chief Director Jua Awatila, and the chairman of the National Patriotic Party, Senator James P. Bundy, was called and chaired by the party's standard bearer and chairman of the governing council, His Excellency Dr. George Weah, aimed the frank and constructive exchanges. The meeting was very fruitful and rewarding, creating the means through which the three political parties in the coalition in the upcoming days will meet to officially sign the CDC framework agreement that brought into existence the Coalition for Democratic Change in 2016. That one there, I want to say that loud. The people are angry with this entire thing. How all the CDC people running with it. Meanwhile, the National Executive Committee of the Coalition for Democratic Change applauds His Excellency Dr. George Weah's prompt and early intervention, whilst hailing officials of the NPP for embracing and uh, re- uh, to the status quo ante. The governing council's um, expand peace, plan for a stable, united, and stronger NPP. Now, listen, I don't know, but we will try to make that. I want to arrange a home interview with either of the heads of the two political institutions in the marriage of CDC. I will try to have former Speaker Alex Tyler, who's the head of LPDP. Maybe we'll go to his house and have an interview with him, and also try to do the same with James Bundy and other people as well to ask them. There's still this thing that CDC is not trying to tell the Liberian people. Like yesterday we had an interview, and I said that to the face of the Secretary General, Koji, that there's this rumor that the other political parties are not happy about what you guys have been doing. And so they think you've not done well in terms of the agreements people had. But be it, politics is not static. Today, there could be problems, but tomorrow, there could be solutions. So that is how it is. Folks, today I want to talk about something very important. And it will interest you to know this. Mhm. And so, you got my balance up, right? And so, I hope you guys are having this on the Adobe. The producer, all the people, Joseph, the guys. So, mhm. So you know, they said there's this thing that goes about this. Anywhere there is a smoke, there's a fire. Anywhere that you have smoke, there is a fire. Hmm? What am I trying to say? Uh, Most of you, let me say this today, and sometimes I see most of you, uh, you express your disappointment, your anger about questions. I usually ask the Secretary General of the Congress of Democratic Change, in extension, the mayor of the city of Monrovia. Most of you will be angry, and at times, you people will say, "But why always when a man having media engagement, say we can always go there and he just creating problems and everything?" And I do respect you people. I respect your thoughts. I respect your thinking and your feelings. But let me say this to you, and this is how I do things. Maybe some of you, most of you, I'm not to explain 100% how I'll do things, and but if I know a person, hmm, I want the person, or I want to know a person to be truthful. Listen to this. If I know someone, I want to know the person to be truthful, not these normal political rhetoric. And so some of you think that, oh, you ask the Secretary General embarrassing questions, all these kinds of, thoughts will come to you. I want to say, don't think that way. No. All of the questions that I asked yesterday, and I will ask in the future, or I've asked, they've not been intended, or they won't be intended to embarrass the Secretary General, neither anyone I'm interviewing, but it is intended, and they were intended to make the Secretary General to speak nothing else but the truth. Not like a case where you want us to go and ask you what you want to hear. Uh, so if you think that, you know, no, I ask questions because I want the Secretary General to speak truth about his activities, about his doings, so that the Liberian people will know. Hmm? Another thing, somebody will get versed again. I'm doing an investigative uh, historical documentary about the Secretary General Jefferson Koji. I know some of you come and say, "Oh, this." Yes, I'm doing it, and not only the Secretary General, we need to dig behind you people, like all other persons in this government, out of government, politicians, or people into the public space. And so I'm compiling a historical investigative documentary about the Secretary General of the Congress of Democratic Change, about things he says, things he said before, and all of that. So for those of you that think and see it the way you see it, I want to say thank you, but I'll continue to do my job. Yeah, fellow Liberians, I want to speak to you today. It is not that I want to narrow our discussion to only the CDC and the ANC, but particularly there are the folks I want to enlighten their minds. I want to say things about their doings. You know, yesterday, because of time, I could not provide an in-depth analysis about one of the many things that were said uh, about the ANC. That the ANC they are trying to do a marriage with the CDC. Now I saw press releases from ANC debunking, and I saw from Liberty Party. You know, they they separated the Liberty Party, the arm of Musa Hassanbility. But tonight, permit me to say a few things and to bring historicity and to bring the real issues and to remind those of you in the Alternative National Congress and also to tell you, yeah, and to tell you and to tell you um, in CDC, you know, there are a lot of things that happen, and at times the partisans are not aware. In most instances, they tend to be informed at a later date, which at times are not in the interest of the partisans that make up of political institutions. My good friend, Lawrence Spencer, I want you to listen tonight. My good friend Desmond, I want you to listen. I'm not going to call big guys' names that I know in ANC or in CDC. I want to talk to my colleagues. My good friend, Ivan Wisser in CDC, Mama C, Abubakar Ba, Emmanuel, all my other guys, you know, like the same in CDC, Dolake, ANC, Dolake, Molba, you know, all the other guys, Cyrus. I want you guys and all other partisans of the two institutions. You might disagree with me today. You might call me all kinds of names. You might even say the worst things to me because of what I'm about to say. But I want you to know, and I want you to mark some of the things I will say. And you will come back to me and say, thank you. I can vividly remember in 2011, listen, folks, I can vividly remember in 2011 in this country called Liberia, when the current government, but then they were called the CDC, not the coalition, Congress of Democratic Change. When they were in opposition, 2011, folks, I want you to listen tonight. When the CDC were in the opposition in 2011, when Madam Shelley was the president of this country, you could listen to them. The likes of, I'm going to be referring to some people who had titles. I'm speaking in the past. So you don't blame me when I don't call your title. You had the likes of Jefferson Koji, who used to be the youth chair for CDC, not coalition though. You have Moba Malu. You have what's his name? You have Mamis, all the other people. The current president, when he was the head of CDC in 2011, I want you people to get this. I want to remind you about what has happened about political institutions in this country. When the very same people were in this country filibustering and saying that no matter what it is, no matter the issues were, George Weah at the time was the only best suited candidate to lead this country in elections. By that time, Ellen was the president of this country, though. And 2017 was ahead. 2011 was the second term of the former president to have gone for election. If she could lose the election, she could serve Liberia for one term. And she won the election, that gives her the leverage to serve for two terms, that took her up to 2017 when we had election in 2017. These CDC people were saying George Weah, they will not accept anything until George Weah can be the president and will be the head of the CDC or any coalition. But listen, later did we get to know that the very same CDC, with all the momentums they had in 2011, when CDC, they were to come up and say this today, this entire town will shake. They were loved by the ordinary people. In fact, some people supported CDC. They did not know why they were supporting CDC. There were no reasons they were supporting, either because they felt that President Weah at the time, he played soccer, he's a star. He was a great star. So people went beyond CDC, not because they knew that CDC could do best. When the people said, no matter what the issues were, President Weah could be the head. But little did we get to know in this country that the very same people that were singing these songs, the Koji, the Malu, the other people in CDC, along with the head impression of Mr. Weah. They were having a backdoor arrangement with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Fellow Liberians, you need to listen tonight. And when I'm done with my analysis, most of you in ANC, some of you will say they want worse things about me, but some of you will agree with me, and you will get to know that I'm speaking truth. And some of you in CDC will want to say all kinds of things about me, but you will say to yourself that what Sekou is saying is truth. Know this tonight. Anything can happen in politics. 2011, President Weah, at that time, George Weah, all the noise they were making, they were behind the scene having conversations with the very same person they were saying that could not lead this country, that they wanted to defeat because the people were suffering. So the arrangement where there were a lot of arrangements. One of the arrangements to have allowed Winston Tubman to head the ticket of the CDC. In your own red mind tonight, I want you to ask yourself, can Winston Tubman win George Weah in CDC convention? Is that possible? And when you ask yourself, can Winston Tubman win George Weah in a CDC convention? Listen, folks, politics is something bigger than what you and I are thinking and seeing. Oh my God. Can Winston Tubman can win George Weah in a CDC convention? But we saw that in this country in 2011. So what did they do? Part of the original understanding, Winston won the convention, and George Weah was made to allow Winston to win the election, the convention, to have allowed Winston Tubman to be the head of CDC as they go to the 2011 election, where the current president served as the vice tender bearer, with the understanding that Mr. George Weah, 2011, this is something you can give to us. In 2017, we can also support you. Listen, they think I'm talking, I plenty of journalists that can say it, that me can talk it, because I know them, and they're very high placed souls that no one can argue. And so I'm just trying to give you some narratives and give you foundation of where I'm going. We're going to take the most of our time here tonight on this thing. I need to enlighten the minds of the people. I need to tell you some things. So 2011, part of the arrangements, and that arrangement was done by Ellen and her legs towards the CDC people today, along with the current president of Liberia, President George Weah, to have allowed him go as a vice tender bearer to Winston Tubman. But like I said, in a very simple understanding, do you think that Winston Tubman, for all fairness, let's be honest, can win George Weah in CDC convention? It is not possible. There's no way that you can win George Weah in CDC convention. But that happened in 2011. You think it was a real thing? That happened because it was an arrangement with the former president and the legs of the people from CDC to have allowed Ellen to go for the second term. And so 2017 will be for what? George Weah. So by allowing George Weah to go as vice tenant bearer, it kills the morale of the CDC because most of the people wanted to vote for George Weah because they felt that George Weah could be the head, so he would deliver the country. But by putting George Weah to be number two, he won't have the power to change the country in which the people think this country should be changed. So by killing that morale and killing the belief in the people, they put in number two and they brought Winston Thomas that they know within themselves cannot win election and made Winston Thomas the head of the CDC. Who would have thought that the CDC, with the morale they had in 2011, would have even allowed Ellie to play such a card with them and would allow such thing to happen? And some of you are covered that thing in Kakata to Francis Johnson. I mean, Francis Michelle has school. When you saw the people, they went for convention. I saw some people crying and everything. That thing was on stage, but it was a plain thing. And President Weah accepted to be vice tenant bearer to Winston Tottenham. Let me tell you something. Politics is about interest. You can give and take. 2011 was a long time, right? And the arrangement went through that we should not go for presidency during the 2011 elections. So he backed off. And then with the understanding that if he doesn't go for the presidency 2011, he, the Weah, will have a safe landing by 2017. We all saw it. So, but that arrangement will allow President Weah to have a safe landing. Did you people get what I just explained? You need to capture what I'm trying to say here tonight. And honestly, in myself, I'm beginning to see a replay of what happened in 2011 in Liberia. I'm beginning to see a replay. Some of you will say, oh, this. And some of you know within yourself, you in ANC. Tonight you will say, Sekou, you've said nothing else but the truth. And some of you in CDC would say the same thing to me. I am beginning to see the replay of what happened in 2011 in this country. That George Weah needed to give his ambition of becoming president, becoming president, running for the presidency, just to give him a safe landing in 2017. Listen, some of you ask me, why say you saying this? The fact that I'm currently seeing the legs of Louis Brown. Listen, fellow Liberians. The fact that I'm currently seeing the legs of Louis Brown, the legs of Mandina Wise, and that of Musa Hassan Belete. Don't take that. You cannot take this from Ellie. You cannot take this. All the three names are called. They are all close ally and people that listen to Ellen's very well. And she instructs them to do anything. Mandina Wisa was part of this entire thing in 2011. No one can dispute that. These are engagements that Mandina Wisa is involved with all the time. So the legs, the fact that I'm seeing the legs of Mandina Wisa, Louis Brown, they are all associates. They are all associates of Ellen. They are all associates of Ellen. And they take instructions from Ellen. that you cannot take from her, and you cannot say that lie. The legs of Musa, the legs of Louis Brown, the legs of Mandina Wise, and they were some of the people that Ellen used in 2011 to have that deal consummated. And so someone say, you are seeing the same people now around Alexander Cummings. Musa, Mandina Wise, Louis Brown. And so it makes me to believe. Listen, I will say it might not sound good to you, but that's how I see it. And I'm saying nothing else but what I believe and what my source. Let me tell you something. We journalists, there are certain areas you reach in journalism. You got people, senior people that confide in you. My source is a very impeccable source that cannot. I'm becoming to understand this. It might likely happen that Cummings, Alexander Cummings, might not be on the ballot paper 2023. I am beginning to Alexander Cummings might not be on the ballot paper 2023. Oh, yes. Some of you in ANC, you're with. I am beginning to based on what I've heard from high place sources, that there's a discussion, ongoing discussion from some people within the ANC, with some people in CDC, and some of President we have friends in the United States. You know, when the Secretary General said when the Secretary General yesterday said, "Oh, I will tell you the reason why. I will give you the reason why Koji said that thing. People like Koji are not happy about this decision. They're not happy. There are few people in CDC don't want this thing to happen. I will explain it to you. I know the sedition and now they coming, they won't fire me. Y'all won't do anything. That your business. That your business. But the people that are in ANC, the young people that put their lives on the line, that have created animation for themselves, are the ones gonna be a victim of this entire game. Oh, yes. You see the legs of Louis Brown? You see the legs of Musa Hassan Belletin? You see the legs of Mandina Wissam? The three names and other names to come. Let me be honest. They are very serious game players. But this is the problem I got with ANC. You know, it's never bad to enter arrangements. It is never bad. I don't want to sit here and make it to look like, oh, ANC will do the worst thing, to do this, to do that, or what. It is not a bad thing. Politics is about interest. And at times when you see certain thing that gives you the leverage, you go for it. Sorry to say, I'm using this word. It's not to insult anyone, but at times you are stupid to gain wisdom. Let me just make a simple example of some of us. Do you know what some of us went through with media owners in this country? Some of the humiliation, we accepted it. Today we are media owner. So that is what I'm trying to say. So the problem I got with the ANC, it is about them being very dishonest. If only if what I've gathered, it is 100% truth. But now ANC should be able to tell the people, or is it that Mr. Cummings is not in the know? They should be able to tell their partisans. They should be able to make them to understand. The people, their partisans, those of the young people, those of the people that have been helping them can no longer help them. The young boss that are part of ANC, the pimping riders, the marketers that are supporting ANC, to tell them some of the people that are even suffering to pay their school fees. They barely eat. Not like the political leaders. It is just fair enough to tell them, or make the people to understand what are the deals, what are the arrangements. But somebody, and I was saying this today, honestly, I don't think the Secretary General, Koji, was prepared to let that information out. It was because of some of the hard questions I pushed into the wall. And that's the reason about journalism. I pushed him and he needed to say it. I'm sure he might be regretting. And oh my God. But you see, God not sleeping, eh? God not sleeping. God is trying to make the ordinary ANC partisans, those children, that have been put out of schools, the poor people that are supporting them, the Yana boss, the teachers, and that support us that are suffering. Look at the old man. This old man that came from Douala, the Douala market superintendent, that old man that went and had herself on the press conference that risked her job. They are the ones that I think that have not been treated yet fairly. You see, and it is a clear something. Musa Hassan Belete is one of the richest persons in Liberia. How he got his money, how he did it, how he didn't do it, it is none of my business. But on the countless occasions, Musa has said this over and again, that President Weah is his friend. What are some of the actions have you seen Musa Belete taking since he became chairman? The only thing that press releases. That's all. These are some of the things that are supposed to click to your mind. Those of you supporting the people, it's supposed to click to your mind. But let me tell you some of the arrangements, according to what I've gathered, some of the arrangements and everything that Cummings let go. It is the ongoing arrangement from folks from ANC, which been sent by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the likes of Louis, Mandina, Musa. Mr. Cummings, if you go for 2023 elections, and if you don't win the 2023 elections, it kills your spirit. It kills your spirit for the presidency. So this is the deal. And I'll tell you what all other people think say they can get, the fair share. And sometimes politicians do things and they do them for their personal interest. Mr. Cummings, here's the deal. Go for 2029. And let me tell you something. This is very clear. I'm not saying that Cummings will 100% not go for 2023. I don't know how their arrangements or whatsoever will end, or will end at the end of the day. Cummings, if Cummings decides to go for the presidency 2029, there is 100% possibility that Cummings could win the elections. Because by that time, Who you think will be the real contender to Cummings? Who you think? Joe Walker? No, the papi will be old. The man will be old. By that time, Cummings, Cummings, Cummings case, Cummings story will be bought by the Liberian people. Or who you think will go against Cummings? What is his name? Edwin Snow. Edwin Snow, they all can give people problem in this country. You ran for representative, you won. You ran for the Senate, you won. So now the Liberian people look like people that can just be investing in your. Then now your high courting, you say presidency. That's what I'm hearing, that he wants to go for the presidency come 2029. And also, there's young man, they call Kochi. There's young man, they call Kochi. Kochi too wants to contest for presidency. That, now you see, the thing is, everybody have that kind of ambition to the extent. But I can say to you, 2029, let me leave 2023 small. 2029, to get anyone that will beat Alexander Cummings so easily in election, that will be very difficult. You like Cummings, you don't like him. You can tell me all kinds of ways. You can say all the worst things about Cummings, but Cummings will be a very formidable foe in the 2029 elections. No matter what you do, you can put, you can. I ain't gonna waste my time to say, oh, coach, you won't be president. And I all I wanted, but yeah, he has ambition too. Or you say Snow won't be president, or you say the vice president will go because after they're not names that will even move towards coming. Joe Walker will be out of the picture. So some of the people that are making the arrangements were some of the same people in CDC and some of President, we are friends in the United States. Yes, they did. Musa Hassan Belete is contesting in one of the districts in Nimba County, right? And I can say this to you, I've spoken to a lot of persons from where Musa is contesting or will be contesting, that the possibility of Musa winning the election is 99.9%. 99.9%. So Musa won't think, yeah, that he wants to get from this entire enrichment, according to my source, is to make him to be the speaker of the House of Representatives when he's elected and he enters the House of Representatives. Fellow Liberians, you see how these are. Now, it is clear that Musa is a very good friend to the president. They are friends. They can communicate. They can talk. They can do a lot of things. Not like you and I, we're telling ourselves out here. That's some part of the discussion. Lewis will be offered a very serious job. Very serious job. Untouchable one. So as to give Cummings as the cat to allow him wait for 2029. Yes, the thing. Some of the things that happening, Cummings has been hugely supported by serious minded people. So the people think that they've spent so much behind Cummings just to allow, they may just lead election without winning and everything. But how can they find a means to get some of the monies they've spent? So these are some of the arrangements that they think could work in their interest. You might like what I'm saying, you might not like what I'm saying, but honestly, some of you will say this. Daseku once said it. Yeah. So the thing here is, the main thing is for the guys to be very brave. And no matter what you do, Cummings has done a lot of good things in Liberia. Cummings has impacted somehow, some way. He might not be the best, but he's making his way out. Now, these are things that happen in politics. You give and take. Most of you, you don't know how these things work. At the end of the day, if that thing could happen to the greatest CDC, now you might like it or not, ANC doesn't have committed partisans or strongholds as compared to CDC when they were in opposition. And that deal got consummated, and the we are today needed to go as vast in the barrel. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything. The thing yet is, few individuals are making these things for on behalf of ANC or their extension CPP, just for their personal benefit, not the. At the end of this, some of you in ANC, if this thing come right, you could create a more enemyship. At the end of the day, the same people will tell us, hey, oh, my man, wait, we got to wait. Let's wait and see how the thing ends, everything. So we not need to do this. We not need to do that. That is how it is. Right? So they will say, oh, my man, we need to do this. We need to do that. We need to allow the people. That's political issue. But there are few things that are getting to me, right? Why can't the people be honest and explain? Now, do you know the reason why the Secretary General, I'm told, the legs of the Secretary General and other people, they are not happy about this. They don't want this to happen. They don't want this to happen. The Secretary General, Koji, and other people, they don't want this to happen. They don't want that marriage to happen. And some could say maybe either of his ambition he has for 2029, because he knows that if this holds 2029, he's not going to be in the picture. Koji say he won't be president too, my people. Hey, Senator, I know what he. Anyway, it is their right to be president. But I can say to you, 2029. Cummings contests 2023. He doesn't contest 2023, but 2029, Cummings will be a formidable foe. No one will contest. No one will come around Cummings so easily. Honestly. And so you got the people, they're moving for the Secretary General of a party to come out. And no matter what you do, Koji is not a lay fetch in the government and his party. There are things that he listens to. There are things that he receives in terms of information. And so for him to come and say ANC, that thing, see the line of things. Louis is a family person to the president. Musa is clear that they are friends. So at the end of the day, this thing will go to a point where most of you in the ANC will say, Sekou won't said it. It might come to a point, oh, yeah, you know, we need to do this, we need to do that, and we get prepared, everything. But my thing is, they will continue to allow you to continue to create enemyships until they benefit personally. Until they benefit. So you got few people from the ANC and the other folks having these discussions with people from CDC and some of the friends of the president in the States, having these discussions, finding ways out. Because sometimes through these discussions, you say them, you do at the end of the day, it doesn't work. So they want to know if these things will work. Some other people put in their interest that they want this, like my big brother Musa Hassan Belete, that I respect so dearly to my heart. He wants to be the speaker. So my man, Bova Chima, when the people win, when the people win, just make sure you know that your speakership might be on or something. And someone is asking me, how did you come up with this analysis? I'm telling you of what that is 85% possible. So it's not something, my brother, I don't know, brother or sister, I'm just saying, I started and I gave you what transpired in 2011. If any journalist could come up in 2011 or before 2011 and say that George Weah could go as a running mate to Winston Thomas, y'all come to say that, y'all say, oh, that man, George Weah will do it, George Weah will not do it. But in your own red mind, you think Winston Thomas can win George Weah in CDC convention? You think that thing it makes sense? Eh? Okay, let me go to the lines. I love the debate. I have more to say. I will say some of the things I have more to say. Let me give you guys the time to call tonight. And those of you out of Liberia, maybe you're watching, and we need to be tolerant tonight. You can express yourself. You can disagree. You can agree. But I'm telling you this, and I provided the analysis, set the basis. Anything is possible. Anything. Some people will be getting, some people want to go to become ambassador in some Syria country. That discussion. I don't know what they will be doing about, because from my source from the ANC, they did not call Aloysius Tony as to whether he stands to benefit. Maybe they're going to be using Aloysius as the person to be, because he's more educated. He knows how to write. He's a legal person. Yes. But this is, this is the thing. It is not a crime, but letting your partisans, what is it? Coming out just a release, oh, it is there already. Ask yourself, what would the Secretary General now come out about this time and say such? So they say, anywhere there's a smoke, there is a fire. 0770907907 0770907907 0880907907 Those of you out of Liberia watching the show, also listening to us on our online platform and other platforms, +231 770 907 907 +231 770 907 907 is the WhatsApp line. Yes, they think that Cummings cannot make it up for 2023, looking at what just happened again. That he can, so they'll say, okay, 2029, you can go. Then CDC say, okay, we'll get rid of you. Good evening.
Good evening, Secretary. Good evening to the peace-loving people of Liberia.
Good evening, my brother. Anything can happen in politics, oh.
Yeah, I will concur with you, Honorable Sheriff, because if you see a influential figure within the collaborating party, who have been the General Secretary of the coalition, the ruling establishment, will come in the media to make such a procurement. We will not take it lightly, but politics, anything can happen. But if CDC succeed in bringing Arizona coming to the CDC, definitely, Honorable Sherry, I will tell you, it means the opposition, there is no voice within the opposition. Because come on, a man to overlook over the past year, you have been working, living, probably like
But listen, brother, do you think that is it something possible or something reasonable that you say Winston Thomas could win George Weah in CDC convention?
There is no possibility that because of the popularity, and he has the numbers, he has the people. So no one will even debate the fact, or no one will ever agree that yes, indeed, you are going to win. There was something that was stage managed, and he accepted it. That is why it went on.
So it could happen too. Yeah, Dan, you getting my point. So that same thing could happen. That Cummings could go for it, and 2029 he takes over.
I agree. Because you're going to put a price, put someone in low popularity, and then let them go with a ruling coalition, and God going to gain ground for 2029. And definitely, if Cummings makes such a choice, means that he spent a record time to challenge for the presidency in 2029.
Thank you, my brother. Let me take another person. Good evening.
Good evening, Brother Sekou.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much for analysis. Sekou, is Cummings
just put your voice up, please. I beg you. Be audible, yeah?
Okay. Sekou, are you getting me?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. If Cummings tried that, probably he will go and get a vote to George Weah. I will get a Buckeye. And they're monitoring all those I know. When he tried, we have really died for him. Then he go and get vote to CDC.
But there are people in ANC are making current arrangements for the folks on CDC here and John, we have friends in the States.
Yeah, let him go. We don't want me coming. We can vote for him. He going, not carry my vote. And when I vote for Josh Weir, let me tell you something.
But depending on your political leader, you're not part of discipline.
Yeah. Yeah, but listen, now why he said that he can't go on a Buckeye too? Because Buckeye is the opposition. I prefer he being vast to Buckeye. As Buckeye, he will still be formidable.
No, you know how it works. You know how it works. You gave me this time, I gave you another time. Joe Buckeye will not be a formidable force.
That man will be like, he will be like Baka Matthew then. He will be like Topa Nati Potter and the Hakumish will be. He too greedy for power. I really behind, but for that information, the man has tempted me tonight. Okay. And he tried, I will not vote for him. I will vote for Buckeye. Let me tell you something. We can't take my vote over there. We voted for him. We will put him power. He has no control over my vote.
Okay, thank you. Let me take another person. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Let's hear you tonight.
Thank you. I'm Andrew Moses.
Mm-hmm.
And John is playing from District 13.
Andrew, you CDC man?
Yeah, I've been a member of the CDC since 2014.
Tonight you'll be happy. Another time you'll be kidding me.
So here's what I want to say quickly.
Go ahead.
People who are saying the information that was provided the Lord Mayor is a rumor. I think Mr. Cummings will have to take the rumor serious. Because the only person that Mr. Cummings can link on to be president for Liberia, God come first and President Weir come second. President Weir will be deciding 2029 who to make president in Liberia. Because the ratings are clear on the wall that President Weir will be re-elected come 2023. But 2029, after he will be SJD in power, and he will decide the next president for this country. So for Mr. Cummings to now join ranks with the CDC to make sure that President Weir be re-elected, I think it will help me a lot. Because it will also help him
Thank you. Let me take another person. Hello. I hope my man Spencer will call tonight. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Evangelist Jomo M. Broderick. I'm the actual chairman of Broadway Council, advocating the will of God for the presidency in the Republic of Liberia.
Yes.
Everywhere. Be that is nobody.
Hello. Please call back. I beg you. Yes, please. The calls are too many. Okay, please call back. I don't know. You said Reverend or who? Please, I beg you, call back. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Are you the Reverend? I just left the line.
No. I'm Jesus.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, as I just listening to the conversation about things, if you try that particular aspect in the country right now, it will not be fine for him. If better you want to go so on, you better go to.
Oh, so you want? Okay, listen now. You want Cummings to go 2023. Then if he goes for the election 2023, he gets defeated. That could kill his political dream for 2029. Is there something good you think?
No, I don't think that way. What I prefer him doing now, because I know all the followers behind him, this, that, on the other side. Let him wait for 2029. But if you don't want to wait for 2029, let him go to Waka and for them to run. But if they pass that and do any other thing in the country, no, you just be like a playboy, you need passing around, whole team, why you don't lost.
Because no politicians, people just need to come together and actually convince one another what they can able to do. But I think if you come actually listen to some other people who are especially from a country, maybe that country, the Kumi can able to set itself for 2029. And how long? They just go to go. And before you look in the corner, then I think we're in 2024.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, people.
Good evening. Go ahead.
This is Desmond Peak. I'm calling from New Israel District number 4 tonight.
That's okay. It's good to get you. Let's hear you tonight.
Yes, I'm calling from Israel, a prophetic area, a very densely populated community right behind the FDA office.
Go ahead. Just go ahead. Chief.
Okay, Sekou, that would be the best decision that Cummins will take. It's because when CPP was collapsing, people said, CDC plenty of people said, if Cummins happens to do it, then it proves no critics, no propaganda said CDC plenty people within the CDC plenty people within the CPP. They were the cause for the CPP to break the way apart. So it is showing now, gradually showing that it was Cummins with ability that were planted with CPP to break CPP down. So if they happen to go there, Cummins will be another laughable. I mean, people will get a laughter in this country because he will not achieve anything. And you can see it. We tried the first without suffering campaign. You could not see even 3,000 or 4,000 persons on that campaign. So you know that he cannot even pull a crowd to be a presidential material for this election. So if he
Why live?
I can tell you for free, my brother. We is not going nowhere. We're not joining CDC. We go as an independent. We remain CDC or Liberty. We see collaboration with Liberty Party, okay?
But Liberty Party separated or that two Liberty Party.
For you, I said you more viral. Honorable Musa Bete is the chairman of Liberty Party.
And you also know that you believe that they have for Liberty Party too.
We are fair, numbly.
Oh. And you only to say you are expecting. Okay, my brother. Thank you. Let me take more calls tonight. Let me give you Liberians the opportunity. Good evening.
Hello, Musa.
Good evening. This is Sekou Sari, sir.
Sekou Sari, look, listen to that disco. That disco is very interesting for Liberian. Purpose of politician me, the one that owns Surface Street. Now, and for me, play with the framework document of the CPP. That's why he coming cross over now to CDC for power grid. We have also we the Liberian. Let me say number one, almost 200-300 listen to your platform. We are already on a suit. Now Musa Berete and Cummins were doing to play with the framework document to keep her into the Mabe. There's great suffering that Liberia are going through. No opportunity, no job opportunity, no nothing. Then when the president says, it's everything on board as we talk. So without suffering, what you are going for Liberia suffering is why you are going to prove God will reveal everything to those who do have a place for Liberia. Thank God for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Sekou.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Go ahead, Chief.
This is true. I want to believe what you are saying.
What's your name?
This is Raymond Charlie. I join you from looking down from the honorable horse. When you said this, I want to believe this is what Cummins want to do, and pushability. We see the reason pushing is serving member to become a speaker for the first person.
Yeah, when he wins the election, he wants to be the speaker. And then Louis Brown wants to go as the ambassador.
And the reason Liberia is because most of those and we Liberia was not the support. But let me say this: if Cummins thought that a political career would have thank you.
Thank you. Let me take this first. Oh, too bad. Really, just move from your monitor. Please. We'll give you the time.
How you going, Sekou?
I'm okay. Go ahead. Please move from your monitor.
Yeah, this is Chris Brown, man, calling from Ghana.
Go ahead.
Nothing went Cummins for the election people. It couldn't be straight for no. Let's be the 200 people in the country. We draw a statue of bronze and several for a here. We bring Cummins to any party and watch talk. If Cummins try off, it betray all, then you will get to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me take another person. Good evening.
Hello, sorry.
Good evening. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Thank you for your job. I'm Sheikh Biggie Junior. I joined from Economic Direct Market.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, but let me say this. Kumi join the CDC, we're not CDC. We're not join CDC, we're not CDC. Even if two of them emerge, once our minds are built up to take this government for power, like I said, when I'm going to go for ANC, they will flip it. They will go for APP or
You
A1990 to
supporting
come
Joe
to
Walker, eh?
I am a strong supporter of the United Party.
But you know what
A
you need to
strong
do?
supporter of the United Party.
Just a minute, please. What you need to
Uh-huh.
do is you need to do also that Joe Walker can win the 2023 election. If he doesn't win, he feels out of politics, Joe.
You know what?
You need
You
to
know
do
what?
everything to win 2023. If he
No,
doesn't win, he feels out of politics,
this is
Joe.
not about Joe Biden doing everything. It is about Labour people doing everything to elect them as the savior.
So that
It's
all
not
the
about Joe
Liberian people,
Biden doing
all the
everything.
Liberian people supporting Joe Walker.
It's about the Liberian people doing everything to save the country from the hate that it is currently. I hope you get my
Mm-hmm.
if you say nobody should do everything opposite like say the best angel to become president. No, that is not what we mean here. What we're talking about the future of the country.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Thank you very much. I love the discussion tonight. Let me take this person. Clean.
Yeah, good evening. Sherry.
Yes.
Go
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is talking to François Magadez.
It's good to join us tonight.
Yeah, so go. I listen to your second family. I listen to all your analysis before, but then one that I want to remind people and also put a clarification on that. That every election, every period, it has its own timing,
Sure.
and it has to be a sensation.
Mm.
For example, today is the last of 2005, 2011. Each of Georgia is a it was a win that nobody could experience. You understand?
But let me just say something, please. Do you know that if George Weah could contest in 2011, it gave the president some difficult time to win the elections?
No, I know the reason being that was a very technical and mature attack of the CDC.
Thank you.
Because the technical CDC knew that if you win the 2017 election, 2011 election, it was going to perform on a least.
So then someone will want to say, I will let you talk, please. I will let you talk.
Put them for George Weah.
Please.
To run election and running for the second time might not be winning.
Please, I will let you talk. I will let you talk, please. So you want to say it is a similar thing that folks that are currently having negotiation with people from CDC and George Weah friends in the States are saying some of these signs that Mr. Cummings might not win the 2023 elections. It could undermine his strength, expose it in a way that where people said they just have a rally, not too many persons attended the rally. So they want to keep him from 2029. Don't you think that could be some analysis or some understanding too?
Yeah, but politics. I mean, there's nothing but fellows. But like I said, the dispensation for every decision. Can you imagine 2029? The dispensation will not be actually people like you, civil service, other people there. They'll not be thinking the lives of coming or Joe Biden, other people there. We'll be talking about young generation. Yeah, I mean, because first of all, the comment that dispensation where Josh we are, Joe Biden will no longer be. I mean, we'll be talking about the lives of people that are directly in the as a young generation. Because don't forget that all of forces that is coming to it now are very, very noisy. The law of every social commitment of the law of I don't want to overlook it. The law of the wrong for a matter. I mean, the law of the guy who married a country. I mean, a lot of people there, he told me now, it was dispensation. So the issue is
okay, thank you. Let me take another person. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, good evening.
This is Mohammed Gitawa.
Mohammed, go ahead.
Yeah, very long way. And I really commend you for the topic. You know, a typical issue that you are explaining, English may say is a lot of the correct issue. Because, it's a part of the we can get to Nigeria, currently, we are happy to 29. But 2029, you know, who never come, and political study, you know, if we can get that, because we agree with it either way. 2029, if we be running on the ticket of the coalition for democratic country, automatically we win. But they currently forced to think, and the bad president will come in. If you know what, that deal it will go another way. But it's a fun deal, secretary, while you are discussing politics, in politics.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, Sigu, how you doing?
Go ahead. Let's hear you tonight.
Yeah, this is John Wilson from Matari.
George, go ahead.
What you people are saying that is true. Then coming with be like, we should touch me. You understand me? We standing for him, voting for him. Now, review anything had to do with TDC or Joya. Now, review decided not to vote Joya. That's the reason we had a group of me. But if you made a mistake, I just hear that if you make a mistake, I get a support to Joya. You know, maybe a very good. But I'm not going to vote for Joya. That's clear. Okay? So if you don't have something like that, your team is mine.
So you want him to contest on it on the 3. If even he doesn't win the election, he can still contest on it on the 9.
Now, we expect you. We yes, our second chance is we that voted for Kumi, we have second chance. A second choice, excuse me. If Kumi doesn't win, we'll all go to Waka. That's the second choice we got. When Kumi is still win the election, we will support Waka and put Joya out. Now we play. So nobody be even.
Thank you, Papa. Let me take another person. The lines are bustling tonight. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. This is Lawrence Spencer.
Yeah, you're correct. I need to
yeah, my man, I've been waiting for you to call today, Papa.
Good, brother. Yeah, good. Thank you. I mean, you are very smart, young man. And the analysis is true, right? And I disagree. Myself, I told somebody before, I said what happened today in Mary was the keep up calculation. And people, you know, I just said last I mean, I have no politics. I mean, it's a very fun game. You know, I listen to my picking out your mother there. Oh, yeah, that could mean well. I mean, the third community is best kind of good for the past 2 years.
That politics are party.
I mean, go ahead.
Lawrence, you know that what shocked me? To have received this credible information that people in ANC are having serious discussions with people in CDC and also talking to friends of President George Weah in the United States. Some of them won't get positions and everything, and they're convincing it, making it to look like Cummings cannot win 2023. So Cummings should allow to agree to such a thing so that they will support Cummings for 2029.
For me, like this will not want to. I mean, this accusation of these things, right? Or to say it's not true. People
because anything is possible.
Yeah,
Musa Belete, that good friend of George Weah. Hey, you know that one there?
I know, but so good. Give me 1 second, right?
Go ahead.
For me, if I don't want to believe it right now. I'm not doubting your investigative skills, right? But I mean, if our party hurricane would decide to even put that round, yes, I mean, I think they were better with something with Black. We went with Black.
No, but Black tell you to jail. That's some of the things what they mean in fair when they say Black throw your man to court. They say no matter what happened.
But we know how we ended up, right? We know what we shouldn't take out.
And just back on that, they made it know that in 2029, Joe Walker will not be of formidable force. He will not be in the picture. So I mean, political interest.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't know what the fear is about. Let me say, I always said, go to the process. If we cannot win the election, I mean, then we can decide. But I just thought some of our hurricane, like you say, even though it has to be proven, because when we say that, I'm not doubting your spirit, but when we say we can come to fruition, I mean, I don't think it is necessary that we go this route. I think we should set the process that political leader always says people. If all the language goes in the document, there's not a time. I mean, then the second round, how we can go on somebody negotiation.
And like I said, from my earlier deliberation, Mr. Cummings has been making great impact. He has done well. He has done lots of things. He has reached out. And the honest people, because to even have people now having these kinds of discussions, and people like you, and it's been very dishonest.
That is what I become myself. I'm in a lot of our Taro. I mean, a lot of our Taro. Nothing that is just said out.
You see, the bad thing about it, they will not tell you that end of the day they will come.
Because the thing is, our party, our football is to win this election. Let me be fair with you. Some of people say that yes, the man is desperate because he wants to change the country. He will hold the argument. And the man is desperate. Because the man is not desperate because he wants to carry around hookah.
No.
That means you don't lie.
Sure, the man has lived life. Yes.
Yeah. So the man when they see the message, the Mr. Kumi can always say, if we change the system, except for you that you were telling your colleague you to attack. For example, if you go to Ghana today, I tell you, you cannot choose cash in the street because what system is there. So these are people who will go to Europe and a lot of people are going to come it is not being because what? We are not finishing people in some benefits of wrong beast. So Mr. Kumi are always stressful. The reason I want to become president of Liberia so bad, it's not that I cannot feel the heat of the rock.
But Lawrence, another thing, I'm going to have you online because you're from ANC and I respect you as my good friend. Because people like you are the ones that I was speaking and I'm trying to advocate for because what my source, brother, like for example, Lawrence, you call me, you give me information, you think it will be lie because you know everything ANC. Just for example, I'm just saying something, right? The thing here is,
you're right.
So the thing here is, you have the people having these discussions, right? And politics is anything. Look at what happened 2011. Between me and you, brother, you think Winston Thomas can win Georgia in convention? It can be possible. So that whole thing, and the same people that did the deal, that consummated the deal, are the same people now are saying around Mr. Cummings, Wani and Danny.
And something like you say, if passing and worries, I hope what you say we should go by then I hope they are not doing this in the absence of our political leader. That's how we get to make it our party. Now, even they are there lying in public, and some of these people that show all, we should be careful with them.
Yeah.
And whenever information come in there, I mean, we have to start using our politically.
Yeah.
Because it's possible, like you say, it's possible. There's nothing impossible in politics.
Yeah.
It's possible you guys will be doing their own thing behind the party. It's possible. It's now, it's thankfully that Mr. Cody said they're working there and we see my yesterday with the press release.
That is not enough. That is not enough, my man. It's not enough. My man, listen, you think Koji will just walk off and say, you know what, Koji, let me just say this. Do you know that Koji wants to be president in 2029? Have you heard this before?
That one, brother, that's
no, my man, listen, plenty happening. I tell you, some politics happening. Koji feels that, let me say this. Koji feels that if this deal is consummated, right? His ambition to contest for the presidency come 2029 will be killed because coming to be taken out. So he and other people in the PDC now, they are angry with it. They don't want this thing. That's the reason why, when I put you to the war, he said that thing and everything.
But say to be honest, right? The political leader out there very much, I mean, about the bad performance of the regime. I mean, there's some of the reasons I'm still crossing what this information because I mean, if we go that route, then there was no reason to condemn you guys for the past and what I did. But you say it is positive. So now you look at what the quote your own road to all of I think is a thing that for me I think we should go for the election. In the COVID, in our people will say they come is a fine. A lot of projects when you are just still with the people that are working, the election the political leaders the policy still comes to separate. Now, there's no people. So I think the reason why Yes, the laboratory that to the color bar. I think they say not of because you know the process.
Okay, Lawrence.
Second round, we can go to discuss it just in case the people don't all. Thank you.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you very much, my brother. I do appreciate it. I gave you more time because you're from ANC. Anyone from ANC too, I'll give them more time. Hello.
Mr. Sherry,
Good evening.
yeah, you cut it off.
Sorry, I didn't cut you off. I think I kept saying that please come back. I don't know if you were the one saying that, that biblical stuff.
Okay, so okay, as I was saying, right, you know, I was saying this to you that this is not just about Joseph Walker, it is about the Nigerian people. That we the ones supposed to fight hard now for our country to not live in the hands of those that are governing us right now. Because we know what is happening. The people will tell us they need to do another thing. And again, let me say this to you, Mr. Sherry. You know, you are a journalist, a credible journalist. Let me, yeah, I will like to appreciate you for that. I don't want for you to allow ANC to bring lies on your platform.
Hey, my man, tell on a minute to get it right on top.
You know, the party never to get a party to court. It is the ANC and party of stability. So, you know, the party to court to stop them from feeding Canada in local country. I think I am aware of that. So, you know, the party, when the party who took the documents to court, it was Mr. Ure. And the access to apologize, the message of that apology, and the best place to solve problem is at a court. The man was taking the court. And let me tell you this to you, Mr. Sherry. If it was not because of a Pentecostal over there was not a part, so who was no one going to work with for a Pentecostal over there. Trust me. They don't Mr. Burger that took it to court, and now you're the party that took it to court. It is your who added you. They say that people in bed was safe after them. You see what Mr. Kumi said, I hate the after you.
Thank you. Let me take another look. Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, this is Emmanuel Richardson, and I joined the conversation from Upper Carwell.
Emmanuel, are you second time calling here?
No, I just called on the platform. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks very much for the topic discussion. You know, I hear some of our young friends from ANC crying for. Look, we call on the radio every day. We hold banner, we pass around, we wear t-shirts. When the people are making a decision, the higher people out there making a decision, we that call on the radio every day, we that, you know, insult people and say things. Sometimes we're not even part of the decision, the decision making now. The thing that Honorable Java Coach said, the people within the ANC or some of our friends are sitting far away from the table. If you feel you want to take it, let me. It's up to you. Liberia politics. And the current politician having a brother right now, my brother. These people, they are not people that you can trust. Honestly, I don't want to believe that the mayor will just come out and put his reputation on the line. Yes, the ANC is not having any discussion at all with the CDC. For me, I don't want to believe so. I believe that the ANC people, they are in conversation. The reason why sometimes I see for Kumi. So, Mr. Kumi, the time you would really try to understand Liberian politics, it will be late. There's a bunch of people that you brought behind you, and you passing around with them, telling them, oh, and Liberian people, these people, they are money eat all. You got to be very careful. Most of the people that you brought, if the people can milk the whole country, some of them, you think they can milk you? They can milk you. So you got to be very careful when you come to yourself, woman, the people will sell that party, and you only be passing as Senator Barack Kumi. And you will not get anything to call ANC because in the first place, the very ANC, you know very well how you own ANC. You know how you own ANC. So you gotta be very careful in what you do because you will be setting in the Liberian people. Your people you get around you will teach you Liberian politics. They will teach you how it can work. People that are going to be next year, they saw a lot of discussion. People around. So we encouraging them. We wanted to come on board. We encouraging ANC. Look, Honorable Kumi. You will be setting it up. Hello? Yeah, okay. So I just make a call because it's from my house, so I just make a call to my house kid, and then I believe it because if you can never, I think some citizens of Money Wilson, John Wilson. I just, if you can remember, I think about 2 or 3 every time we had a group of CDC saying that, or someone that supported saying that, and just said that. The party chair went there and I said, I saw the people can laugh. I just broke.
And we don't have example we cannot talk capital seriously. In fact, let me just tell you something. I told people the only thing I did I will put seriously. But you are that come back in the next war. Okay? Now I just no more. Not because I knew how to behave to the country. No.
Hello. Yeah, hello, Honorable Civil Sheriff. Yeah, my name is Robert, political slaughter Ibrahimovic, a two term for Kennedy Pulver. And yeah, and civil complement to the 16 years first. And I listen to another thing. I see many callers calling this comment. Listen, you should be there should be aware that this 2020 there will be alarming, real alarming. The information emanating from our Secretary General Somebody Kamakoti, the youngest, most populated influential youth leader in our country now, is very essential. Because mind you, we don't care when the United Party people get to know that the importance of comments. When they get to know when in fact the alarm with the man, they don't only get the man, they stress the man, tell the man, the criminal, tell the man, of course. You think we joking? The government team power, we team power, yeah, play power, maintenance, seven you know. We need everybody on board. So that you might partner or recently in Nigeria. Why they didn't go there for they didn't inform the people. So that you might partner want to try to do mercy or do mercy the kind of job because it's happy. Can I spend money? So he needs someone who will spend the money, who has the money, and will go away as running men. That's why I was said we're looking for negotiation with non people that come in. Come in could be a professional and a customer to the now. So we're not talking. We think power. So freaking women on board, and we are freaking more men on board. So if it gets more for the whole entire opposition camp in the party, we need people in here.
Hello, I'm Johnson very much. Well, first, I want to say thank you for the hard work for all that I do. Then I this is what I brought on the deal. Uh, I admire you. I admire your hard work, and I really appreciate you. I admire you for the hard work. For,
Yeah, good evening, Zeku. I do. My name is Jerome Billy. I'm calling from 5 TV. Yeah. Okay. What because I just get on the studio because I'm a silent listener to your show and you are sort of very factual. But whatsoever you say just now, I just open the radio, people are commenting on Alexander Cummings who threw the CDC there. He is the only architecture between beyond all the sanctions. He is motivating the American government. He paying a lot of money to the American government. And you don't want broad sanction on Maggie and others. And you see Alexander Kumi that they are talking to who is the power party. And you don't want to talking to the people who organize the attack suffering rally. Then the president came a few days. I would say he was insulting them. He was insulting all the other point the man. I'm not sure what. He went to the party and he said a lot of things there about Alexander Kumi. And they see Alexander Kumi, they say he's coming in and come the somebody come in believe it. Jabba say coach you have a position noise. You have the one clear
Sorry. I look like we'll call it a day. We need to have some rest. Let me take roughly a few calls to call it a day. Yes, we'll be back here on next week. I think Tuesday. We'll continue with lots more issues. But what I said, this is just about the interest of, we are journalists. There are a lot of things we are privileged of knowing. There are a lot of people confide in us You have lots of things happening. So that is it. And I really do appreciate all of your concerns, your participation. It is always good that we disagree to agree. When you have a discussion, it is always good to disagree and agree. Before I let you go, please keep your calls. We're not taking calls again. I want to let you know the best internet service in Liberia is Telecel. You're looking for the best internet. You can go to Telecel and you have all it takes. This is the message. We'll be back here on Monday, Tuesday, something like that. We'll be back here. My name is Sekou Sharif, and I want to say thank you to every one of you.
Yes, all I want for Christmas is